Good Sunday evening, everybody. Chris Allen with your 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. All right. October the 5th, it is. I hope that you had a great Sunday. It was a little warm today. How warm was it, do we ask? 86 was our high temperature officially today at the Bowling Green Airport, right here where I live. 10 degrees warmer than the normal, but it was 10 degrees warmer than the normal because the normal went down another degree today to 76. Yesterday, the normal high was 77, today 76, and it's going to continue to tick down as we go through time. So another good 30-degree swing from high temperature to low temperature. No rainfall past 24 hours. All has been pretty quiet. Well, I want to go to the maps. First of all, take a look at the satellite view. And as you can see, and if you look out your window just before the sun completely sets and everything turns dark here at 6:31 p.m. I mean, we still have a little twinge of daylight out there. But you may look off to the south and notice a few clouds. And you would be correct in saying that it looks like the clouds are on the increase, and they are. And they're coming in from the south. And that's key because, as I pointed out last evening, moisture will soon be arriving out of the Gulf of Mexico. Evidence of that moisture is right now just in the clouds. There's nothing falling from the sky as far as rain yet, but it's on its way. And it'll be here probably by tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at a couple of cameras. I can do that with this particular app. This is um, over in Wickliffe County, almost to the Mississippi River. And beautiful sunset there. Some of the clouds have not moved in just yet, but they will. That's in far western Kentucky where it is 78 degrees right now. Let's check out somewhere else, like further south, like outside of Franklin. How about Fairview, Tennessee, down in Williamson County? Now, as we're looking south, you can see the clouds that are showing up. So 74 degrees in that case. Dixon, Tennessee, seeing the clouds. There you see them. Look at that. Yeah. Isn't that cool? Seeing a few clouds now. Evidence of some mostly mid-level moisture that is starting to stream in from the Gulf of Mexico. So given time, yep, it's going to happen. Rain is going to happen. And I would say by tomorrow morning, we're going to find that rain pushing in here. Now, as we look in the upper levels for moisture, that's not really impressive. That's upper level moisture that you're looking at. When we really start to see the moisture, it would be starting the yellows into the oranges up here in this color bar. Right now, some upper level moisture, but not much. Let's go to mid level moisture. Ah, yes. Now we're starting to see something, especially to the west. And now here's low level moisture. Oh, now it's starting to take off. So, in the various levels of moisture, high, mid level, and low, we're starting to see some higher moisture content. And that is what, of course, you'll need to get some rain in here. So, by tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning, we're going to begin to get those better rain chances in here, and we'll take a look at that right now. So, how about let's take a look at a model and look ahead and see if we can see when the rain is going to push in here. So, looking at this, here we go into tonight. Pretty quiet, but notice that the rain begins to move in from the south. This is going to be early in the morning, about this is 1 a.m. Here's the time up here at the very top. Let me see if you can. I want to make sure you can see that. Yeah. Okay. So the moisture is coming in after midnight, about 1 a.m. We put this back into motion as we get to 6 a.m., 7 a.m. You should begin to see some light scattered showers around the Bowling Green area, down toward Nashville and up toward Louisville, back toward Paducah, so forth and so on. Let's keep running this. As we get into the day on Monday, some of the better rainfall will begin to cover parts of western Kentucky. There's 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Got a couple of cells there that maybe even provide some brief downpours and maybe even a rumble of thunder. Can't rule that out. Although instability will not be that high, there's not a very active low level jet. It's just Gulf moisture, but there's a lot of it. Here we go into the drive home, and this is when it should begin to rain pretty good for much of Bowling Green and the 270, especially west of Interstate 65. So we get into tomorrow evening, into the overnight hours, and then we get into the early morning on Tuesday, and we begin to see even more in the way of rain. And some of this now is looking a little more healthy. This is around noon on Tuesday. Pretty good rainfall. I think we could get some drenching downpours out of this system, and we're not done yet. I think the higher rainfall amounts will come on Tuesday and maybe Tuesday night, as evident here. Now we're going to go late into Tuesday night, into Wednesday, and there you see this will be the cold front as it makes its way through late Tuesday night into early Wednesday, taking a majority of the rain with it. How about rainfall during that time? Well, let's take a look. Let's see if I can make that happen. Let's put this into motion. And okay, it's not there. All right, so that product is not there. So let's see about, are we looking at maybe, let me go back up here. I'm just doing a little adjusting here because this is a different product, but I do like it because it does show some of the things that I have to change maps with and look at this map and that map. This one lets me do it all on one map. Here is the multi-day rainfall outlook from the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center. Here's days 1 and 2. That would be tomorrow. Well, today and tomorrow. Most of this, of course, is tomorrow. In the blue, the light blue, you look up here at the top of the screen and you see an inch, maybe a little over that. You get into the purple, estimated 1.5. Now, this is primarily for Monday. That's nice. Well, let's add another day. Let's go days 1 through 3. And it looks even better. Now we're starting to see us covered in much of the purple, which is an inch and a half up to an inch and an eighth in some spots. Of course, it's not going to be exactly in those spots, but the weather prediction model is picking up, and several models are picking up on the possibility of some decent rainfall. I would even call it beneficial rainfall, something we haven't seen in a week or two now. Let's go days 1 through 5. So that would take us through, well, counting today, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You're not going to see much change because at that point, by Thursday morning, all of this will be gone. The end of the week, there won't be rain. So all this is going to start tomorrow, go through Tuesday, then into Wednesday, and maybe even to those of you that live east of Interstate 65, some of this may linger into Thursday morning. So that's good. I mean, this is some good rainfall. Now, will there be flooding issues? I don't really think so. I mean, there could be a few places that pick up more than just a beneficial rain. If it comes a good downpour, somebody might get more than just some beneficial rain. It's possible. Okay. But flooding values don't look all that impressive right now. So we'll just hang on to the fact that it's going to rain and we need the rain and it's coming. Then we're going to talk about cooler air once we get past the rain, but more on that in just a moment. Here's a look at current temperatures from the Kentucky Mesonet Network as of 6:42 p.m. on this Sunday evening. Mostly 70s all across the area. High temperatures today were in the 80s, mostly low to mid 80s. Rainfall, of course not. Not today, but there will be tomorrow. There will be tomorrow. And look, now we're getting a more uniform wind direction coming out of the south and southeast. The winds will, and they got a little breezy today in a few spots. In fact, I can check that. Peak wind gusts since midnight. Look here. If you thought it was a little breezy this afternoon, you would be correct. Winds were out of the south, southeast, 15 to almost 20 miles per hour. In fact, there was a 21 mile per hour wind gust in Franklin today at some point. So, yeah, a little breezy, and it could get a little breezy again tomorrow. Thanks to the moisture feed that is coming in and upper winds. But I don't think we're going to see, like I said, there's not a low level jet that's very active. So I'm not too concerned about the possibility of severe weather. There could be a few stronger storms, but the severe weather threat does not look that impressive. Okay. So I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about that. In fact, let me go back to this and let's switch over to the convective outlook. Okay. What you just saw here is rainfall over the next 5 days. Let's go to severe weather threat. This is right now. Here is tomorrow. Now, this is just a general risk. This is not a severe weather risk. And then into Tuesday, most everybody gets in a general risk. There's not a level, really. It's just your ordinary garden variety thunderstorms. So I see no severe weather threat with any of this that's coming in, which is, I know, eases your mind, hopefully, a little bit more. Okay, now let's go to the maps, and I want to show you day by day what we're looking at as soon as I find them. All right, here we go. So here we are this evening with the high pressure ridge out east of us beginning to break down. And here comes our system out of the plains. This is the front that is going to come in, meet up with all of this Gulf moisture. The moisture hasn't gotten here yet. It'll get here tomorrow. But we have seen, as you saw on the satellite, and if you look out your window, you'll see some of the clouds moving in from the south. Some high and mid level clouds are beginning to push in. So here is the Gulf moisture that is going to lift north, and this frontal boundary is going to meet up with it and help enhance the rainfall by Tuesday. So let's follow along. Here's the timeline down here. This is right now. Let's go to 1 a.m. in the morning. Here is 7 a.m. Monday morning, tomorrow morning, and you can see now we're starting to get some shower activity. It may not be a lot, and it could be scattered at first, as I showed you on the predictive radar. It will most likely be scattered at first. Here comes our system slowing down just a little bit, as you can see. Here's a little trough, a little inverted disturbance, if you will, that's going to help enhance that Gulf moisture. Let's go into Monday afternoon. Little better coverage, and maybe some heavier rain with that darker green that you're seeing there. And here comes our front. High pressure really doesn't matter at this point because we've got enough Gulf moisture feed and we have this front coming in. This is going to happen. High pressure this time is not going to be strong enough to fend off the rain. Here we go into Monday evening. Pretty good rainfall, maybe some rumbles of thunder. The best rainfall, as I mentioned, though, is coming Tuesday. Look at the coverage and look at the dark green, indicating some good, steady, beneficial rainfall. And there's our front. And the front will actually come all the way through Bowling Green. It's not going to fall apart. High pressure is just a bit too weak. So here we go into Tuesday night. That'll be about the time, probably sometime Tuesday evening or late Tuesday night, the front will come on through. Then into Wednesday morning, it goes south of us and east. The showers will gradually come to an end. Now, like I said, there could be a few leftovers on Thursday because of just a little wave that you see right there. Okay. But not for everybody. Here's Friday, and look at this. There may be something left over on Friday in a few spots, especially east of Interstate 65. Saturday, another front drops in, and this is the front that is going to usher in the cooler air. Not cold air, but I do think it could get a little chilly this weekend. This is Saturday, and here's Sunday. Okay. Not much change there, but at least you saw the rain chances, and we're going to see a cool down. How do I know? Well, let me go back to the other map, and I'll show you temperatures. Okay, let me get the right thing here. Call up the right maps here. I want to go probably. I'm going to use the. I could use the European. We'll use the European model first. Okay, so here's the way that looks. These are the temperatures, and it's loading everything up. Now, what are we looking at here? This is, I want to go step by step, and I don't know that I can. Um, so yeah, I can. Okay. So here we go into, this is today. Let me get to tomorrow. Okay, here we go tomorrow. We're looking at temperatures 60s, 70s, and 80s, but somewhat cooler once the rain begins to push in here. And you can see some of that cooler air taking over by tomorrow evening. Well, let's skip ahead. Why don't we? Let's go all the way down into, let's see, let me go a little bit further down. Oh, here we go. So this is the 12th, which is Sunday. Next Sunday. Maybe I went a little too far. Okay, this is Saturday. Yeah. Okay. So we're looking at, yes, no, Friday. All right, this is Friday. Let me go into Saturday. Look at this, 4 a.m. Saturday. What does the blue mean? Some of you could start in the 40s. Are you kidding? No. Upper 40s, low 50s, where you start to see some of the green. Here is 7 a.m. And then we get into, of course, after sunrise, 1 p.m. into later in the day. And this is on Saturday. So here we go. Saturday evening, we see some 50s. Then 1 a.m. Sunday, next Sunday, the blue is showing upper 40s. How about that? And then recovering back into the, some of that green you see right there with the yellow, that is upper 60s to near 70. And some of you might not even, east of us, might not even make it out of the 60s next Sunday. Now, wouldn't that be incredible? That's going to feel really, really good. So it's coming. This next weekend, you're going to know it's fall. It's going to feel like fall. Now, let's look at the model blender. And it hasn't quite picked up on that yet. But I can tell you that we are going to see temperatures coming down. Remember, this is a blend of models. What I was showing you is just one model, the European model. Now, it may not be right, but I think it's going to be close. And as we go through the rest of this week, I'm looking for some of these numbers coming into next weekend to go down even more. And some of these overnight lows to go into the upper 40s. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. So this is taking the blend of a dozen or more models, maybe even more than that, and just providing us with an average output. But as you saw, at least with one of the models, it's going to cool down pretty good as we head into this coming weekend. And it's time. It is time that we get some cooler air in here. Doggone it. This just, it's like the summer's just been going on and on and on. And here it is, the 5th day of October, and we're still in the 80s, mid 80s. Ugh. I want it to be over. I told my wife, I want to see I want to see Christmas decorations go up soon. And I know some of you are laughing at me like, come on, man. We haven't even had Halloween. And then we got to have Thanksgiving and you want Christmas stuff up? I don't know. I just for some reason this year, I just want it. I want the lights and I want the pretty colors and I just want the cooler air to take over. I just want to it's just not long enough when it happens. So I want to extend I want to extend the holidays as much as I can because I just want it to happen. Speaking of the holidays, is your HVAC system ready for not just the holidays, but the colder weather? Now, I just told you that cooler air is coming next weekend. And I know some of you, especially your wives, okay? Guys, I know don't tell your wife because I know they get mad when you say, "Oh, you got to turn, yeah, why don't you turn the heat on, you cheapskate?" You hear that all the time. Nag, 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 nag. Anyway, I'm not saying all you ladies do that, but I guarantee there's somebody's wife is going to be like, "Can't you cut the heat on, you cheapskate? I mean, it's cold in here." You know, us guys, we're like, "Oh, it's not. Come on, put a sweater on, get a blanket, get a throw. Come on. It's not that cold." But you know, your wives are going to start to complain that it's too cold way before you think it's too cold. So don't be one of those people that cuts your heat on and then it doesn't work. Call R&R Controls. Get them to come out to your house and get it done. Get an inspection done. Make sure that your HVAC system is ready for the colder air because you know it's coming and your wife is going to tell you it's cold. Turn on the heat, honey. Please turn on the heat. And you'll have to, okay. And then when you go to hit the button on the thermostat, nothing happens. Uh-oh. Should have called R&R. 270-777-2024. That's the number. Call them tomorrow. Don't call them now because it's Sunday night and they're like some of the rest of us. Sunday night, family time. Okay. Call them tomorrow. 270-777-2024. With R&R Controls, you'll never be without. And maybe you can get your wife to not nag you about, it's too cold in here. Why isn't the heat working? I'm just making sure Sheila doesn't hear me. Yeah, she does it. She does it too. Okay. I'm just picking on you guys. All right. Y'all have a great evening. Don't forget, if you would like to get some extra content, as soon as I'm done here with this podcast, I'm going to put together my flash forecast for the coming week. If you're a subscriber, and you're paying that $1.99 a month because you scan the QR code there, or you saw on Facebook a link where you could subscribe, you get that extra content. And it's just a one sheet that summarizes what the next week's worth of weather is going to be. Everything from temperature to wind to rainfall, whatever. So there you go. $1.99 a month. Just scan that QR code. and you're in. It's as easy as that. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Have a great evening. Thank you always for watching 270 Weather. And don't forget, I'll be on your TV tomorrow in the morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. News 40 Sunrise on WNKY. News 40, because local matters, as you can see, because look, yeah. That's the station I'm on now. I'm not on the other one. I'm on this one. Okay. And for 3 more years at least. Just signed a new contract. I'm there for 3 more years. This and that. So you get to look at my ugly mug a little bit longer. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a great